some young broke dude.
I know I might be late, but my dad actually was buddies with him in jail and always asked him, why did you kill those people? But Dahmer wouldn't want to talk about that until one time my father asked him, did you enjoy eating them? And he just laughed.
This straight girl came up to me because I was at a straight bar and bought me drinks, bought me shots, and then I told her I was gay, but she was like, yeah, I know, that's why I'm doing all this. Straight men are awful. And honestly, I screamed.
Today I want a lifetime supply of pineapples. One problem, I'm allergic to pineapples. Fuck my life.
Blasting This Is Halloween in my car, window down, singing along at the top of my lungs on my way to work. Turn to the car next to me at a red light, realize I've been caught, and the 8 to 10-year-old girl in the passenger seat yells out, "This is Halloween, everybody scream!" I died laughing, so did her dad. This is why fall is the best season. Halloween bringing everyone together.
A baby was staring at me in Target, so I started waving to her, and she waved back, and the mom whipped around and was like, "Oh my God!" And I was like, "Oh, sorry, I was just waving to your baby." And she was like, "That was the first time she's waved." And me and this mom screamed in the store because we were so excited.
I tried the so-called prank, and now I'm married to the first woman I tried it on. Damn it!
When I was 20 and very stupid, I was utterly in love with my economics professor. It was one of the most unsexy subjects, but the way this man talked about numbers was obscene. It helped that he was fucking gorgeous, too. There was a boy in econ who always sat next to me and found excuses to talk. He'd share his notes if I daydreamed during class, and I did a lot of daydreaming about that professor. This boy was persistent, so I made a deal with him. If he could ask the professor a question which he answered incorrectly, I'd agree to one date. The boy thought about it for a while, and then he asked, "Will she go out with me tonight?" pointing at me. And the professor said very decisively, "No." So the boy, thinking himself clever, asked me where I'd like to have dinner, and I'd said I'd tell him later. After class, I asked the professor why he'd answered no with such certainty. Do you know what he said? He said, "Because you're having dinner with me." And that was the night I started dating my econ professor, and my now boyfriend of 5 years. Is this a fan fiction? Because this sounds like a fan fiction.
When I was in high school, my AP English teacher told us we weren't allowed to eat in class, so I took that as a personal challenge to see what the most ridiculous thing I could eat in class without getting caught was. So I started bringing soup to class, and as soon as I'd crack the lid of my thermos the tiniest bit, this football player that sat like 3 rows in front of me would going, "I smell meat, someone has soup," and no one ever believed him.
Throwback to the day he figured out how to use the remote and turned it to Animal Planet. My 5-year-old son was playing in the garden and sees 2 spiders. He asked me, "Is that a mummy long legs under that daddy long legs?" "No, son, there is no mummy long legs, only daddy long legs." I felt pretty proud of my answer until he stomps on both spiders saying, "We'll have none of that gay shit in our fucking garden."
Me, a high school teacher walking into a junior high class as they're packing up. Student to another random student. "Watch out or I'll lock you in my basement like Ted Bundy." Me, "Ted never locked people in his basement, you ignorant swine. Get your serial killers right." Student, "Oh, it is in that moment I forgot you can't talk to junior high kids that way, and that also I may have a problem."
Oh my God, my teacher played this in science class and gave us lyric sheets to sing along with it. She said if we don't sing along, she will give us an F-.
I got stopped doing 96 miles per hour coming back from the cinema a few years ago. Cop asked where I'd been and I said the girlfriend had dragged me to see Twilight. He then replied, "Well, that's punishment enough," and let me off. Actually a true story.
Today I was at the shops and I bought an Adventure Time cup, and as I was leaving, this 16-year-old pregnant girl sneered at me and said, "How old are you?" And this random 12-year-old boy looked at her and said, "Old enough to know how to keep her legs shut." I could barely hold my laughter.
Dear Mrs. McSnickens, your daughter has been entered in this program called Sleep for Kids. In this program, your daughter can miss 2 days a week so she can sleep. But if she is still sleepy another day, she can totally miss, and her bedtime will be 10 p.m. instead of 8:30 p.m. Thank you. I was changing my 10-month-old's diaper, and she said, "Mommy, why would so many women vote for a man who hates them?" I had no answer for her.
Minding my own business buying cake. Excuse me, but can you cover your tattoos up? You what? Your tattoos. I don't like them and I don't want my kids seeing filth like that. Right on then, how about this one? Rolls up sleeve to reveal my tattoo of a witch being burnt at the stake. That's disgusting. What on earth made you think that was a good idea? dealing with stuck-up, arrogant cunt like you on a daily basis. So how about you fuck off and take your precious fanny shits away before I add the screaming sound effects to my tattoo? Gathers kids and runs to the closest mall security guard. I don't think I'm getting cake today. Plus, I think I'm on some sort of list.
This girl at Starbucks dropped her bagel on the floor, so I bought her a new one and ran after her to make sure she got it. When I caught up to her, she was crying because that was her first meal in 3 days because she had no money and it was gone so quick. Please be grateful for what you have.
Some dude just asked for my number in traffic, and when I put down the window, he heard my music and said, "Never mind." I can't make this shit up. This is legit happened to me too, sis. This week, the site team put this on my door. A year 12 boy jumped for joy, shouting, "Yes, miss!" I've never taught him, so asked him why he was so happy for me. He said, "A strong woman in leadership, you deserve it." Have to say, there was a tiny lump in my throat.
My mom told me that today during recess at her school, a girl in grade 2 decided to make a poster that said "Save Us Earth," and she managed to get about 30 kids to chant "Vote Green" with her.
My neighbors heard this and called the police. They were arrested.
Stop asking me to dance. 2 out of 10 hate it. Ask my friends. Thanks, please. I was playing Never Gonna Give You Up on my phone. Then my chemistry teacher put it on his speaker. This woman I worked with's husband had been cheating on her for years, so she divorced him, married the divorce lawyer who was literally the hottest guy I've ever seen, took the kids, and is in St. Lucia right now living her best life, so all I have to say is, it probably gets better.
I told my Christian BFF that I'm an atheist. She usually says she does not like the idea of heaven, the fact that we do not have control over what we do up there. It would provoke me to want to tell her it may not exist. Finally, I told her I'm an atheist, and she asked me, "Why were you scared of telling me that?" I was confused, being that her father is a missionary, and her mother one of those obsessed with church. I thought she would immediately change all views about me, and probably not see me as a friend anymore. Instead, she started to tell me about all her doubts about God, and how she thought he's a selfish, self-centered prick if he exists. Now we are even closer friends. Plus, we get to have inside jokes during Christian religious education lessons.
I have signs that my daughters hold up in the rear window. Never tailgate a driver in an old car. Brake check will commence in 3, 2... We've never got to showing the 1 sign. Makes the drivers behind laugh, which is good. This boy with a fake Gucci bag just asked me for my number. I said I had a boyfriend. He was like, "Damn, I was trying to take you dinner in my Beamer out there," and pointed to my car. I'm at Walmart, right? And this little girl walked by and said, "I like your shirt." I said, "Thanks, I like your hair." She said, "Thank you." Then it got quiet and she said, "Yeah, my mama put my daddy outside last night 'cause he be cheating." I said, "Dang, I'm sorry." She said, "Yeah, you pretty though." Ha ha ha. Well, I ordered my first Beyond Meat burger today. It didn't go well. I'm not sure why. Cashier, can I take your order? Me. I'll have the vegetables thing that identifies as a beef burger, please. Cashier, you mean the Beyond Meat burger? Me. Yes. Cashier, that'll be $3.59. Me. Placing 3 twigs and some grass on the counter and pushing it towards the cashier. Here you go. Cashier has a puzzled look on her face. "Ma'am, what is this?" Me. That's Beyond Money.